أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد صدق الله عظيم Juma Mubarak. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the heathen, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in this law I see it sunrise and sundown. Him a go dear like a tree planted by the rivers of water that bringeth forth fruit in the season. Him leaf never a go wither, and whatsoever him do shall prosper. Yea! The heathen them now they saw them there like a chaff with the wind driveth away. Therefore the heathen them never go turn upon the judgment of the sin among them in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord God Jah loveth the way of the righteous and the way of the sin among them always and always. I go perish. Let the people of the Most High God say, Jah! Kadamawe groma beya tela eh. Oh, how good and how pleasant it is for Jaja people them to live together in unity. It's like that precious ointment upon the head go down to the beard. The head of Aaron go down to his beard, and all the way down his robes. The Lord God Jah loveth everybody. When give everybody a gift of life. The name of the Lord is a strong tower, and the righteous run into it and them is safe. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but Jah shall deliver him from all of them. Oh, Mauso Bolisa. I don't know what it was clear for. What are you, moe? Oh, you all done. This is the Black Pot, aka Kuku Show them up, where we speak truth to power. And my name, Black Rasta. Now, in every traditional African home, there is a black pot, and each time this black pot sits on the fire, there is something super sumptuous cooking. Ingredients of so many different types, shapes, and sizes, aromas, and flavors. Put aside all their differences and relocate into the black pot where they are subjected to some good amount of heating. In the aftermath, they produce food. Ironically, they do not even partake in the eating of the food. It is us, the eaters, who do. Yet every time, the ingredients and the black pot will collaborate to produce food. What lesson can we derive from this? Three very important things. Number one, selflessness. Number two, generational thinking, and the third one is sacrifice. Any nation that does not have these ingredients, three ingredients, it's not a nation, it's an empty box. Every nation must be able to sacrifice. Every nation must think generationally. Every nation must be selfless, or else we are doomed. It's the Black Pot, aka Kuku Show no more, where we speak truth to power. And I want to say thank you so much for coming. We appreciate you and we love you. Today is a beautiful Friday, and the Black Pot is on. And remember, we are live on our YouTube channel, and the channel is Black Empire Media. BLAKK, yes, Black Empire Media. Yes, that is where we are. Please subscribe to our channel and hit on the notification button so that each time we are on, you will be reminded to watch us. And here, we don't criticize. But if we must criticize, we will just criticize on one condition: to build and not to destroy. That is why we say we are in the service of God and country. Yes. Please follow us on our social media handles rolling on your screens right now. Facebook, Instagram, and X. We are there, live and colored, and we update it every day. Yes. And we also have a website, the BlackEmpireMedia.com. Please make sure that you log on and see what we have on there for you. Remember, we have another channel, and it is called the African History Class. Please make sure you check it out, and there you would hear proper African history. In the interim, we are going on a 16 regional tour of Ghana, all 16 regions, and we are going with a message of patriotism. Every region we go, we will stop at a school and talk patriotism for 1 hour. Right after that, we rest for the evening, and we put up a concert at the market square or even on the street for every Tom, Dick, and Harry, Kwame Mensah and Kofi to come around and watch us whilst we also deliver the message amidst the serious crunching kuchoko music. My brother, the time is now. Somebody must do it, and we are doing it. If you are not able to come along, you can still donate to us and give us some strength so we can go on and do this. Every region we go, we are donating a big Ghana flag at a vantage point that will be blown by the wind, left, right, and center. And we are going around with over 100,000 miniature flags. Every region we go, we give up at least 10,000 miniature flags so the children can wave it, can wave it, can wave it. Those who have never seen the Ghana flag will see it now. And in the schools, we will have a short quiz for somebody to pick up some prize. After the lecture, people would eat food, and then they will also drink something good for free. We can't do this alone. It's a lot of logistics. Maybe you have some food you want to follow us on this tour with. We are happy to have you. Maybe you have a drink you want to follow us on this tour with. Please. Or you just want to direct us to go here and pick up this, or go there and pick up that. Our numbers are rolling on the screen. You can send us Momo on this. The name on it is Ahmed Abubakar. And Black Empire Media, our account is also right here. You can send us some strength so that we can do this work. Please, I know that you are ready to see this nation work again. We will make sure, wallahi, that this country works again. We'll never give up. It's not only talk. We are walking the talk right now. To those who have donated so far, we want to say thank you so much. We appreciate you. King Shabade sent us something all the way from the US of A. Thank you so much. We also had something from our professor, Professor Albion Mense. Ibrahim also sent us something. As I said, we're going to publish the names. You will soon see them scrolling and how much you have donated to us. Except that you don't want the amount to be mentioned or your name to be mentioned, we will have everybody's name here just to say thank you and God bless you. This is the Black Pot, a.k.a. Kukushodemo Friday edition. Come here, my youth. Now today we have just 4 stories we want to share with you. And I need you to come along. Run it, my youth. Watch this. Kwesi Pratt reveals favorite black star and why. Kwesi Pratt reveals favorite black star and why. Who is Kwesi Pratt Jr.? I love this man. I love him so much to a fault. When this man speaks, I am quiet. Anybody could talk to me and I'll be as wild as a lion. But when he starts to speak with me, I become so cold like ice water. You know why? That's the level of respect and love I have for Kwesi Pratt. We disagree sometimes like a father and son will. And he loves me to a fault as well. Kwesi Pratt is a social commentator, a veteran journalist, and a powerful Nkrumahist. Everybody knows Kwesi Pratt in Ghana. Recently, he celebrated how many years? 70 years. And he still looks like this. My brother, Kwesi Pratt is most of the time talking nationalism, Nkrumahism, and what have you. For him to veer into football, I think I'm interested in what Kwesi Pratt has to say about football. Remember, the Black Stars went all the way for the AFCON, and they came home empty-handed. Many were those who insulted them, and many were those who apportioned blames to so many different spheres of the Black Stars. Kwesi Pratt had only one thing to say. He has picked up his favorite Black Star player. And who is this player? You know who the player is? Dede. Ayew. That's him. He's wearing his father's number of jersey. His father always sported this number 10 jersey. And I thought that having retired from football, they were going to rest it for good. But I was so happy when his son stepped into the same jersey. He might not be as skillful as his father. He might not have the same verb and fluidity as his father. Because his father is my all-time best footballer in the world. Not even his mentor, Pele, Nelson, Edson Arantes de Nascimento, Dede Ayew. But why has Kwesi Pratt settled on Dede Ayew when a lot of Ghanaians are vilifying him and looking forward to crucifying him? Run it, my youth. And this one is coming from the Ghana Web. It says, Kwesi Pratt reveals the one thing about Dede Ayew that puzzles him. Did you hear that? Run it, my youth. Watch this. Kwesi Pratt Jr., the managing editor of the Insight newspaper, has disclosed his fondness of Black Stars captain Andre Dede Ayew, revealing that he is a big fan of the player. Kwesi Pratt on Monday on Metro TV's Good Morning Ghana extolled the virtues of Dede Ayew as one of the few players who, in his view, played their hearts out for the country. The veteran journalist is awed by the dedication and discipline of Andre Ayew and has commended him for his sacrifice for the country. However, there is something about Andre Ayew that Pratt claims to be puzzling. That whenever he sees him on the football field, he is puzzled. And what is this thing? Kwesi Pratt noted that the white plaster always tied around two of Ayew's fingers is something that he has been trying to comprehend. Someone like Dede Ayew is someone I have come to respect a lot. It seems to me that in the current squad, he displays a certain level of commitment and passion, not just for the game, but for his country as well. The only thing I don't understand is why anytime he plays a match, he ties his two fingers with a plaster. I have been trying to understand that. He's a fine player, he said. Kwesi Pratt also spoke about the Black Stars' performance in the Ivory Coast, listing some factors that he believes contributed to the team's disgraceful exit. He explained one contributing factor is simply the fact of over-reliance on foreign players. For the coach to do well, the coach has to understand them, predict the conduct of players and their style. Pratt continued, if you are simply a coach that just assembles players in the nick of time, it means the coach doesn't understand the strengths and weaknesses of players, and it's a major problem. The Black Stars left the tournament winning none, drawing 2 and losing 1 of their 3 games played in Group B. A 2-1 defeat to Cape Verde in the opening game was followed by a 2-2 draw with Egypt and Mozambique in the second and final group matches respectively. With just 2 points and a goal deficit, the Black Stars recorded successive group stage exits from the AFCON, having suffered the same fate in the 2021 edition. As a result of the disastrous performance in the Ivory Coast, Chris Houghton has been sacked by the Ghana Football Association. Wow. My brother, Dede Ayew has taken after his father. Very dedicated. When his father, Abedi Ayew Pele, was playing, we all knew that he was all about the nation. He made much more money with Marseille and those other foreign teams he played for. But any time the call came for Abedi Pele to play, he never missed it. I remember when they played a certain World Cup qualifier in Kumasi. I don't remember which team it was. Abedi Pele flew in and came in from the airport after he played a match. The previous day, flew overnight, came over and walked into the stadium to join his colleagues. That day, I remember clearly as a youth, small boy, growing up in Kumasi and attending school at Tiamade Secondary School. There was a penalty against the opponents and took Abedi Pele to draw the referee's attention to that penalty. And the referee picked it up. He was so powerful Referees will listen to him, watch him, and take decisions. I can never look down on Abedi Pele. Never can I say anything bad about Abedi Pele. Having sacrificed his talent and his life for the Black Stars. This was a man who could cry for losing a game because he picked up 2 yellow cards. Do we all remember Senegal 92? He wept bitter tears. All because out of frustration, he picked up 2 yellow cards. And for that matter, he had to rest and watch the game from the stands. And Ghana lost the final match. These were the players we had in those days. Stanley Abora, Tony YEBOAH, and every country was scared of us. What happened to us? Are we eating too much fried rice and chicken? Are we eating too much fast food? What Kwesi Pratt is more interested in patriotism and dedication to the nation. That is why he has singled out Dede Ayew, among some others that he didn't mention. For this team, I saw some dedication and some patriotism. Those based outside Ghana were so happy to relinquish whatever they had to be able to be called Ghanaians. It behoves us as a people to accord them the same respect. When they make mistakes, we shouldn't vilify them. Don't let us look at football and hate patriotism. Don't let us look at football and be blind to any other thing that inures to the benefit of the nation. When I hear people talk about Inaki Williams, I hear people talk about some other people who could have decided to play for their foreign teams. They were being begged to do that. But they decided to follow their hearts and come to Ghana. That alone is enough for us to clap for them. Even if they miss penalties, we should still clap for them and say that we love you for at least taking that strong decision to come and play for Ghana. A lot of you guys insulting them. If they wave a visa in front of you, you will become like goats and sheep running after those visas to go and naturalize in America and England. Shut up! These are guys who have had the opportunity to represent foreign countries that your presidents and leaders are going to beg bread from. They relinquish all these things, renounce all these things, and come to play for Ghana. And you still don't have the common sense to see that they are being patriotic. Look at somebody like Inaki Williams and some of those other players. They could have just decided to play for the nations that they were brought up in. They had the chance and they were so good, they could have just featured. But they said no. Even though Ghana has a plethora of wonderful players, let us don the Ghanaian jersey. It is a badge of honor. And you hear people insulting them and calling them names. They lose matches and journalists wait for them to come out and then they insult them and call them names, insult their fathers and mothers and grandfathers and grand-sisters, grand-uncles and grand-nephews. You are all barbarians, those who do that. So barbaric. Look, when I play in Ghana and in Africa, and I play outside as a musician, I see the difference. And I'll tell you what the difference is. In Ghana, I see people who walk away from musicians. I see people who clap musicians off. Sometimes I even see people who are ready to stone musicians like in Jamaica. But no matter how badly you perform in the white man's country, the worst he could do would just be to stand and watch and not clap. If anything at all, he would go and look for cigarette to buy and smoke. But to clap you off and do some other things is very difficult to see that. Because they appreciate talent and appreciate what you are doing. You might not be satisfying him. But for him, the fact that you are not satisfying him doesn't mean some other people are not enjoying your performance. You don't understand how people build their careers. One comment from you could kill their career for life. You don't appreciate what the person is doing on stage. Okay. Watch the person, but to visit the person with insults, chasing the person's dead great-grandfather to the grave and insulting him, I have a problem. You think if I had a son who wanted to play for the Black Stars, I'll do that? I wouldn't do it because I don't want to be insulted. My son will not be insulted alone. They will insult him and insult his father and his father's father and his great-grandfather all in one. Upapa, upapa, supapa, upapa, papa, supapa, papa, 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 omunyina, omuye. Please. A lot of these players are sacrificing more than a lot of us. If they tell you how much they lose by coming to play for Ghana, you'll be shocked. We need to accord them some respect. Of course, there's a lot of politicking in our football, which we'll get to pretty soon. In the interim, Kwesi Pratt, thank you so much for walking us through your mind and telling us exactly what you like about Dede Ayew. Look how many people are saying Dede Ayew should retire. He should go away. He is the cause of the Black Stars' woes. I'm like, wow. So one person can be this powerful? One person is the cause of the woes of the whole Black Stars? What is the GFA doing in the blame game? Is Dede that powerful? Oh, Jesus have mercy. We have misplaced priorities and misplaced anger, inflamed by tribalism, nepotism, and foolishness. We got to be careful. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonum, where we speak truth to power. Come here. Next story I would like to look at is also rolling. It looks like today we are dealing with so much sporting issues. I didn't beg you for food, and that's KWEKU YEBOAH. You know KWEKU YEBOAH, don't you? I know this brother. I've known him from where his hair was all black. We've known each other from when we all had black all over. Today we have strings of white in there. To God be the glory. It means we have lived for some time. It's a blessing, isn't it? It's a badge of blessing. My God. KWEKU YEBOAH recently was fingered by the former GFA president, the honorable, who became a dishonorable, Kwesi Nyantechi. He said KWEKU YEBOAH was a good friend of his, but he switched. He remembered when they went to a certain country, I think Brazil, and when they were on the way to eat some good food in a restaurant, KWEKU YEBOAH was just standing around, and he called him and asked him, you're not going to eat? He said, I have my food. He said, what food do we have? When he opened his plastic bag, he had gari and shito in there. And those of you who are not Ghanaian and don't know what gari and shito might be, it's food that is normally eaten by students. You know, no matter how long you keep it, it doesn't get spoiled. It is some kind of stew that has been overcooked and overfried, so it remains like that without getting spoiled. They have a way of making it so for weeks and months it doesn't go bad. It's a kind of sauce full of pepper. We say pepper. Now gari is made from cassava. All you need to do is to pour water into it. It absorbs the water and becomes soft, and then it expands, poof, like that. Normally we say it's poor people who eat it. But until you go to the secondary schools in Ghana, you will continue to call it cheap food or poor people's food. In the boarding school, it is one of the biggest and most respected commodities we have in there. So, for a grown-up man like KWEKU YEBOAH to travel with gari and shito, two reasons. Either he's so poor he cannot afford some fresher food, or he just has his taste buds crying for this as a delicacy. Kwesi Nyantechi said, when he opened his bag and saw gari and shito, he said, oh, throw that away somewhere and come and eat better food. And he followed him to the restaurant. He went and they ate nicely. After that, he asked him, where are you lodging? He showed him where he was lodging. He said, oh, but that is not any good lodgement. And he gave him a better place for the rest of the what? Tournament. Now they are falling apart. And he's reminding KWEKU YEBOAH that this is what he did for him. This is what he did for him. And KWEKU YEBOAH has responded. Again, what did he say? Run the story. I didn't beg you for a place to sleep. KWEKU YEBOAH replies Nyantechi's Australia claims. So it wasn't in Brazil, it was in Australia. Run the thing. Ex-journalist Dan Kweku YEBOAH has replied former GFA boss Kwesi Nyantakyi, stating that he did not beg for a place to sleep when he covered the Black Stars friendly in Australia in 2008, as the latter claims. So it's a 2008 story. That's about how many years ago? 2008 plus 210 plus another 10, that's 12 plus 4, 16 years ago. Come here, my youth. Watch this. Kweku YEBOAH acknowledged that Nyantakyi offered him a room when he and other journalists went to cover Ghana's friendly against Australia. He accounted that he was at the hotel lobby booking his room when the FA officials suggested that there were spare rooms because Australia had covered the cost. I should have supported you because you gave me a room to sleep in Australia. I didn't beg you to give me a room. Whenever Peace FM sends me on an assignment, they give me money. So I was at the lobby doing my booking, and you people came and told me that Australia had taken all the expenses and there were spare rooms. So Odinihu Apia, Ali Maradona, and I should go there and sleep. So it wasn't as if Peace FM did not give me money to book a hotel room. Wow, he said on Peace FM. Regarding Kwesi Nyantakyi's accusation that Kweku YEBOAH turned against him, the journalist clarified that he only criticized the former FA boss for embezzlement, noting that he fronted a campaign for Nyantakyi to win the CAF ESCO election. What sort of help? When Nyantakyi was the FA president, I was the #1 critic. But the time he was seeking to be voted onto the CAF Executive Council, I dedicated my program for almost a month to him. Every Thursday, my topic was, how do we galvanize support for Nyantakyi? And when he won, I was the first journalist he granted an interview to at the airport. I supported a good cause. But if you withdraw Black Stars money, $2 million American dollars from Unibank, and squander it, how do I support you? When you were pursuing a good cause, I supported you. But for a bad cause, how would I support it? He added. Dash it away. And come here. My brother, what Dan Kweku YEBOAH is saying in the second part is the biggest problem we have in Ghana. I've helped you before. So even if you catch me stealing, shut up. I have given you something to eat before. No matter what I do, you must support me. As if to say, he that feeds you controls you. That's the problem we have here. That is why a lot of us have refused to seek help even when we needed it most. That is why a lot of us will continue to remain poor. Because in Ghana, to be rich, you have to be corrupt. Follow some politician and join his band of thieves, Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves crew, and start stealing the taxpayers' money and sharing. It breaks my heart every time I hear a corruption issue and a public official that we have dedicated our trust and vote to is responsible. What Dan Kweku YEBOAH has said is true. There were times when a lot of my friends ran after politicians, they sold out. Today we don't know where they are even. There are a lot of people who are bootlickers. They are only here to make money no matter the source. We were not created like that. I support what Dan Kweku YEBOAH said. But let me look at the first part. He said he didn't beg Nyantakyi for food. Neither did he beg him for a room. He was there booking his room. Remember we asked this question here? So certainly he heard it. That's why he's giving us a response. I asked, so Peace FM, a big station like you, when you send your journalists on errands like this, let me use the word errands like this, you don't give them enough logistics, no food, no accommodation. They have to go like paupers and refugees, hanging around all over the place like street children. And then he responded, Peace FM gives us everything. I'm happy to have that response. But I am not too happy that Dan KWEKU YEBOAH said he didn't beg him. It might be the truth, but once you accepted it, I think that you should have said, yes, I'm grateful for what you gave me, but these were the circumstances. But to go ahead and say, I didn't beg you. In our local parlance here, it smacks of ungratefulness. It's like a man comes your way. You feel that the man is hungry. Yes, he's hungry, but he is on the way to buying food. You give him food, at least he has saved the money that he would have used for the food. He tells you, thank you. Then one day you come out and say, the other day, when I saw you looking so hungry, I was the one who gave you food. Yes, I thank you for giving me the food, and I've always been happy that you gave me the food. But unbeknownst to you, I was on the way to buying food. So the money I would have used for the food, I kept it for a rainy day. I appreciate what you did. You have said the same thing with that saying that I didn't beg you for food. When we continue saying things like this, we might put off philanthropists. We might put off a lot of people who are doing it just for the camera. My brother, in our nation, philanthropists work with camera. In our nation, we do not respect the Bible saying that when the right hand gives, let not the left hand see. Cameras are all over. In our country, when we help you with something, when we are charitable, we expect you to bow down before us and say thank you. If you don't say thank you, we get angry. We don't do it for God. We don't do it for posterity. We do it for self-aggrandizement. Self-gratification. There's no reward in that. Obviously, what Nyantechi did, he did it for self-gratification, or else he should never have mentioned it in public. You were going to eat bad food. I was the one who gave you food to eat. You didn't even have a place to sleep. I gave you a place. But two wrongs don't make a right. Dan KWEKU YEBOAH should have been the bigger adult, the bigger person, to say that, well, thank you so much. But this was what happened. So I kept the rest of the money and I used it on a rainy day. You helped. Thank you. I appreciate you. Ghanaians would know that you didn't go to beg. It's enough. Anyway, these are just opinions. And I want to say thank you so much. I appreciate you. When we return, we got more. We would also be reading your messages. It's a beautiful Friday. Hey! Wayo!
Blakk Koku show them.
It's the Black Pot, a.k.a. Kuku Show, and here we speak truth to power. Next story, my youth. Now the next story says, Ghana still distressed. And that's the IMF. You know what it means to say somebody is distressed? You are miserable. You are totally stressed up. Miserable. Hopeless. It is the IMF. The IMF we went to begging for loans. We have taken already over 70% of the loan. And we are still miserable. That according to the IMF. Why did we go at all? The Asantis would say, me koye anase me bae. My brother, my sister, today when I saw this, I shed tears for my country. We never learn. We always go to the wrong people to tell our stories. And right after that, they claim that they are helping us. But they were the same people who set the house on fire. They come back telling us they are firefighters. Il allume le feu et après, il joue le pompier, papa. Il allume le feu électif. Et après, il joue le pompier. They set the house on fire. And right after that, they come around and say they are firefighters. I don't trust the IMF. Having read so much about the IMF and seen their activities in Africa and beyond, no wise president in the world should ever go to the IMF. Run the story. Let's see how sad the story is. Ghana's debt situation is still unstable, unsustainable, and distressing. Run it, my youth. Watch this. It says the International Monetary Fund, IMF, has asserted that Ghana's debt situation is still unsustainable and distressing. The IMF, in its staff report on Ghana, titled 2023 Article 4 Consultation, said that the Debt Sustainability Analysis, DSA, attached to the report shows that Ghana's debt breaches the standard limits for lengthy period of long time. Pending completion of the debt restructuring, the attached debt sustainability analysis continues to show large and protracted breaches to the standard thresholds the IMF mentioned. Dash it away. My brother, it's almost a curse for Africa to discover any mineral resource. They are here with loans for us, loans against the minerals that we have. Then they follow us, take a big concession, and give us a paltry percentage. 4%, 2%, and the rest of it goes to them. They cripple our economy. If we refuse to listen to them, they have a way of getting the FBI and the CIA on us, sponsoring people to destabilize us and destroy our economy. They have made it a standard that until we come to them, we will never heave a sigh of relief economically. Nkrumah said it a long time ago. Why? I still don't understand. With all the gold and diamond, with all the engineers we have trained in our mining schools, we don't have enough competence to mine our own gold, mine our own diamond and lithium and the rest. We still have to fall on the colonizer who doesn't want us to prosper. What kind of a people are we? After over 60 years of independence, training our own experts, we don't have one single mining engineer who is capable of mining our gold and our diamond. We have to follow in America, England, and the rest. They take 97% of everything and give us 2.5%. Is that not slavery? What's wrong with us? Who created us? Why are we so stupid? The white man has set a certain preamble. And that preamble is, until you come to his school, you don't have common sense. I was having a small argument with an African-American woman who wanted to tell me that all our leaders in Africa attended school in the US. That made them sharp. But those of us who stayed here and went to school here, we are not as smart and sharp as those who went to school in America and in England. I said, really? Have you heard of Tinkaminen before? He said, no, I'm not talking about ancient times. I'm talking about modern times. I said, you cannot detach the two. If there was no ancient, there will never be modern. It's our people who have deteriorated and fallen short of the standards. We built our own standards and we trained the people in the West. So we are their teachers. If you tell me that modern day Africans would have to go to Harvard, and some other such places before they are called scholars. I will not disagree with you too much, but it depends on which leaders these are. The colonial mindset. After all, your educational system is controlled by them. My brother, until we decide to cut away from the IMF and the World Bank, we will continue being their puppets. Any African leader who rises to talk, they have a way of finishing you. My brother, you think if I was president of this nation, I would not strip naked to run all 16 regions of Ghana if that will help fix our economy? But I will never sell out to anybody who doesn't respect me and respect my culture and my legacy. We are a great people. We are a great people, and that is not compromisable. It doesn't matter who has gone to Harvard. It doesn't matter who has gone where. It is the mindset. It's the syndrome that is called Willie Lynch syndrome. Anything that is attached to the white man is of quality. And when I see so-called Pan-Africans also say that, I'm a scholar of Harvard. I went to the biggest libraries in the world, so I'm a better scholar. I look at them and I say, even if you were, by saying this, you are falling short of being a Pan-Africanist. My brother, they looted our libraries and our museums and carried documented wisdom away. So if I go back to those libraries and pick up that knowledge, it doesn't make me a Harvard scholar. If you steal my knowledge and take it into your house, and I come to your house to take back my knowledge home, am I a scholar of your house? No, I'm my own scholar. Until we stop this foolishness, my brother, we are still going to be liberated politically, independently. But the mindset, we are still totally enslaved. It's just political independence, and even that is Mickey Mouse independence. America can control you wherever you are, despite your so-called independence. Anytime America wants a coup in your nation, it's just at the snap of the fingers. Right? My brother, my sister, we have to open our eyes and our ears, or else the IMF and the World Bank are not here to help us. They are not our friends. They are not. On this tour, we wrote to the World Bank and we wrote to some of the embassies around. I just wanted to test something. We wrote to the embassies for the Patriotism tour. And I'll give you a report. You will be shocked. I am not shocked at the response. You are going on a patriotism tour for your country. And you are writing to the embassies of other countries to solidarize with you. We will show you their responses. It will help you become more patriotic. It will help you stand on your 2 feet. It's like you are building your house. And you go to other people's houses and say, oh, come and help me build my house. It takes true neighbors to recognize that when one house is falling, it doesn't fall alone. It falls on another one. And that other one will fall on another. Come here, my youth. It's the Blakk Pot, a.k.a. Kukushono, where we speak truth to power. When we return, we have more to tell you. So the IMF, how do you sort our own problems? Train our own engineers. If we don't have the expertise, there's nothing wrong with sending our students from here to go and learn. After all, they were here to learn from us as well. But it's been too long since we started running after these people for our livelihood. We have the expertise. We can do it. We need Pan-African leaders. Those with common sense of patriotism to rule Africa. Not fakes like Nana Akufo-Addo. Not jokers like Nana Akufo-Addo, who don't know an iota of patriotism. Dash it away. When we return, we got more. Hey! Wayo!
Blackpot. KWEKU shoulder, man.
All right, so let your comments come in. And today we're going to keep it very brief so we can leave early. Let your comments flow. All right, so Zacha Emmanuel says the king is here. Says, welcome, Father. Ja. Stephen Banda says, thanks, God. Thank God. It's Friday. Blakk, you are the king of Africa. Woyo. Bantasi Abdul Latif says, Blakk Rasta, let me be the first to say salamu alaikum wa alaikum salam. Stephen Banda says, I'm listening to you with my brother Sami, and he sends his greetings to you, my king. Blessed love, Sami. Stephen Banda says, please, share, 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 share. Mirror says, thank God it's Friday. Come here, woyo. Stephen Banda says, come here, woyo. Run the story, my youths. All right? And then who knows? Kumoji says, Blakk Rasta, you are really a legend. Love you so much. I love you too. Zacha Emmanuel says, nobody is bigger than the truth. Governor from Wusuta. Musa Jawad says, the people think not when their belly is full, but the poor see the reality in the country. Yes, the ignorance in them makes them to pay homage to the destroyer. Good evening. Miro says, please, whilst you enjoy watching, please tap on the link, comment, and share to the world. Yeah, of course. Jennifer Asuikamami says, Wayo, run the story by legendary Blakk Rasta. Come here, my youth. Musa Jawad says, I wish to be part of this tour physically if the room will be given. Of course, you are welcome. Anywhere you see us, you just come around, man. Yeah, Muhammad Banjayawan says the hot pot of wisdom is on fire with the best chef, Blakk Rasta, and we are fully ready to be fed with cooked wisdom to light our minds. Okay, run the story. Come here, woyo. And this is MC Scorpion. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, so the final story is rolling up. I'm going to spend a few minutes on this. It says, Ghana's coach controlled by politicians. And this is Lewin talking. You know Lewin, right? He is a comedian, Ghanaian comedian. I love him so much. I love him. Yeah, he's not educated. In other words, he's illiterate. But he's built a school. He has a school. Yes, very good comedian. I really love him. And an actor and a singer. Yes, yes. He's a great guy, great mind. He's saying something. And I need us to watch this well. Run it, my youth. Some Black Stars players told me order from above forced Houghton to make substitutions. And this is Lewin, a legend. Ghanaian actor Kojon Kansa Lewin, popularly known as Lewin, has opened up about a conversation he had with some Black Stars players following their exit from the African Cup of Nations. Run it, my youth. In narrating what transpired during the conversation, Lewin disclosed that some top officials at the Ghana Football Association, GFA, forced Chris Houghton to field some players in the squad who didn't deserve to play for the team. According to him, the Black Stars players he engaged said that some substitutions Chris Houghton made were not by his own will, but rather order from above, which pressured him to make certain decisions which ended up causing more harm to the team during the AFCON tournament. Lewin narrated how his conversation with some Black Stars players panned out after he lambasted the team for their poor performance. Dash it away. So that means that Chris Houghton himself is not a professional. He's a joke. If what Lewin is saying is the truth, then this guy is a twerp. It's a joke. My brother, I know that these guys have a certain level of morality and business mind. They don't take bribes. They do not kowtow, because when the team breaks down, the disgrace comes to them alone. That's why he accepted that all the blame should come to him. If you would allow yourself, because of some chicken change, for people who are not professionals to push in players for you to use and destroy the nation, it means you should never even get near our nation again. You are a nation wrecker. And if what Lewin said is true, it must be investigated. In places like America and the rest, serious people would investigate this, because it's a disaster to the nation. Do you know how many people died because the Black Stars came out? Do you know how many people went on a hunger strike? Do you know how much money was wasted because of this? And to stall some of these things, we need to follow up on conversations like this. Lewin could be talked to mention names. We speak with these people. It won't take a second for us to get to the bottom of this so we can stall it out, yes, and nip it in the bud. I'm sad. If Chris Hutton really allowed himself to be manipulated, then he's a joker. He's a joke of a coach. Nobody should hire him again. He's not a serious coach. If I were the coach of the Black Stars, anybody who comes to tell me, oh, I have a player, I want you to fill them, I'll cause you to be locked up by the police. You are not serious. You can suggest to me at the time of gathering my players, oh, there's this player here, there's that player here, there's that player here. The nation can do it. We will chase all those people, put our spectacle on them, and see how good they are. But to push me to field your player because you're a player agent, I'll get you arrested. My brother, we need to look at some of these things. Is it true? Can we go into it and find out exactly what it is? Anyway, it's the Blakk Pot, a.k.a. Kukushodomo, where we speak truth to power. Let's take your final messages, and we are out of here. Do we have any messages? All right? Flow the messages, and keep your messages coming. We are closing for the day. It's a Friday. We want you to go enjoy your Sabbath. God's Way Jata says, live in Kumasi. Come here. Wayo. Rap Thunder says, good evening, legendary Black Rasta. Musa Jawad says, astonished the citizens. He says, I'm watching live from Damong. Abdul Basit Musa, lawyer Abu Jinapo, has done it again, delivered 3 boreholes to the Larbanga community in the Damongu constituency. More hope, Jinapo. If he has done it, we appreciate and we say thank you. I hope it's not for political reasons and votes. Normally they wait during the elections, they do this. If this is what he's been doing, and if he did it from a good heart, Harry Watson KJC Mahama was misquoted during the honeymoon statement. He was addressing labor unions. He was pleading with them to be considerate in their demands and give him some time to stabilize the economy first. Well, that makes sense to me. Olivius Nwinzi says, hello, Black Rasta, because we have normalized the abnormality in Ghana. If you behave normal, people see you to be a weird human being. Some even think that you are mad. Youngster Ali says, may Allah bless you, legend. Note, a government that robs Peter to pay Paul can always depend on the support of Paul. Inshallah, Ghana will be great again. Amen. Asma Banda says, please, legendary Black Rasta, when did our dirty politicians change their attitude? Well, I haven't seen that yet. Isa Prominent King says, Father of history, I salute your mental faculty. I salute you too. All right. So it looks like these are all the messages. Come here, my youth. I want to say thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you and I love you. It's been the Blakk Pot. We'll catch you again on Monday at the same time, 5 p.m. up till 6. Until then, have a wonderful weekend. Hey! Wayo!
Power!